Hey guys, it's me, Selena. I'm gonna post this on my Instagram and my YouTube. So any links that I have are gonna be in the description when it comes to YouTube videos. But um, you can just see links on my stories on Instagram. It's no biggie. If you heard a thing drop, that was my pen. But anyways, I've been a big Ben Solo fan since um late 2019, like December 2019 to early 2020 in January, right before COVID hit. Um, I have never liked the Rise of Skywalker ending. In fact, when I first watched those movies, I had never seen Star Wars until I was 17. Like, I seen Clone Wars when I was a little kid, but I never put it two and two together about, like, the connection between Clone Wars and Star Wars. I didn't really realize they were the same thing, but I was 6 when the show came out. But I never seen a single Star Wars film until I was 17. But when I finally did come around to watching it, I watched the originals, prequels, and then sequels. And then at the time though, the Rise of Skywalker just had come out in theater, so I saw the first date at home through Disney Plus, and then I saw the Rise of Skywalker maybe a week or two later in theaters, and I never liked that ending. So I was one of those Raylos who took to fanfiction. I even wrote a fanfic trilogy where Ben Solo had a secret twin brother that actually died, and it wasn't Ben. That Ray actually got saved from. It's a whole thing, but it's on Wattpad and AO3 under my user Selena Hope Official, and I still have it up. I don't really use Wattpad anymore. I think I kind of grew out of it, and Wattpad had changed so much over the years, where I kind of was like, this is really not me anymore. But I think it was mostly I grew out of it, but I leaned into AO3, and I wrote AU fan fictions on there, like put Ray and Ben in like situations where they were in the real world, and there was one in particular, actually three that I have done this with, where I turned a fanfic into a published book. But the recent one was originally titled "Unadulterated Loathing," and it's not a title of the song, but there's lyrics with called unadulterated loathing on it. I'm sorry. It's called "What Is This Feeling" from Wicked, and the fic was about Ray being Ben Solo's ex girlfriend, and she had to plan the wedding for her ex Ben Solo. So I took that fic along with other two fics, and then turned it into an original story, to where it was an original character, and I turned Ray into Athena Thorpe. Um, Athena's last name is Thorpe. Sounded similar to Throp from Wicked, like Alphaba Throp. And I wanted to give a nod to Wicked because that's my favorite all time movie in Broadway. And like I said, um, I gave small nods to Wicked throughout this fanfic. I even titled it. I'm sorry. I titled it "Unadulterated Loathing." That's not the name of the song, but two of the lyrics were "unadulterated loathing for your face, your voice, your clothing." So I turned "unadulterated loathing" to X Wedding Planner. Um, I was going to keep the name the same originally, but I came up with X Wedding Planner because I don't know, something about it just rang better. Like, she's an ex girlfriend, but she's also the wedding planner, so she's the ex wedding planner. And um, this is the hardcover. Um, I'm gonna give this copy to my mom, but this is the hardcover, and over here, I'm trying to get this. This is the paperback, and I'm keeping it for another family member who prefers paperbacks. But I'm keeping it until I can give it to them for their birthday in August. So there's that. And I made this. Well, I don't want to say I made this because I never drew this. Like, I don't have the patience for animation. I tried it before, but I realized it wasn't me and I was just a writer. But I reached out to a Raylo YouTuber called NS2D Studios. I had already been a fan of hers for years. She actually reached out to me on Reddit, and I didn't recognize her at first because I think when I found her, though, when COVID had just hit at the time, she went by another user, so I didn't recognize her. But she told me who she was, and she showed me her previous work, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you the Raylo YouTuber from such and such? And she's like, yeah. And I told her, I'm like, such a huge fan of yours. I used to watch your Raylo cartoons all the time. When COVID hit, it really helped me at the time period. And she was like, thank you. And then we collaborated. And she told me I was paying for not only her services, but copyright. And I'm actually going to work with her again soon on another collaboration. I don't know why I can't speak. But I'm going to collaborate with her. And I took her artwork and did this. And she told me beforehand that I could do whatever I wanted with the images. So I used Canva. And I turned the artwork into a way to make it a diary or a notebook of some sorts. You can't see the full thing, but some pages has Athena, some pages has Caleb, and some pages has a planner on it or wedding rings to show him, and then planners to show her. But I don't feel right saying, oh, I made this journal, because I didn't design any of it. I just used the artwork and then put it in random places. But I published the notebook first, and then last month I published the X Wedding Planner novel. And there's another surprise that I'm going to do with X Wedding Planner. I can't really say too much. I'm almost afraid to. Although I've kind of posted about it, but I don't know how it's going to go. So just keep your fingers crossed everything goes well and goes smoothly. Because if everything goes right, then I have another X Wedding Planner thing to go on with. And I'm also wearing my Athena and Caleb shirt. I don't know how to quite show you. But yeah, sorry, I don't know how to show you without ruining anything. I don't do well with camera angles. But if you remember the Coldplay concert last year, I kind of made a joke to put Athena and Caleb in a Coldplay concert, Jumbotron, as a joke, saying, oh look, they're caught at the Coldplay concert, when it's really not. But I was told that, if I wanted, I could show off my Raylo merch, Raylo inspired really merch. I decided to use these butterfly copyright free pictures, and then say my favorite butterfly is blue, and then I made mugs and t-shirts out of it and sweaters on Bonfire. And I have X Wedding Planner, Athena Thorpe, and Caleb Stewart merch, still Raylo themed, but for legal purposes I call it X Wedding Planner merch because it is. And like I said, it started out as a Raylo fanfic that I later published, and I'm working on something else to make it something else besides the merch and a book. And also, forgot to mention, as the big Wicked fan I am, I wanted to use the pink and green color scheme, to give another nod to Wicked, so I can keep pink and green. And that's really just it. Again, you can find my t-shirts and mugs and stuff on Bonfire. My bonfires on my bio in my Instagram, and you can pretty much find me on Facebook under Selena Hope, Instagram Selena Hope Writer, YouTube Selena Hope Author. Although I have other YouTube channels, but for different reasons. But my author page is Selena Hope Author, and that's pretty much it. And I wanted to share this again because I want to support the Hunt for Ben Solo movement. I've been, sharing the posters, and I've been sharing the hashtags so that the word can go around. I asked you sign the petition. I have that linked in my story, although if I can't find it, I reshared it on Facebook, so I can just use that link and then share it with others who want to sign the petition to greenlight the Hunt for Ben Solo. And that's really just it. And I hope you guys have a great day. Please check out my merch. Please give my book a read. And I really can't wait to show you what else is in store. And please support the Hunt for Ben Solo. That is very important. I think Disney needs to learn how to listen to their fans more. I don't like how Disney kind of handles how fan bases are. I mean, there's a lot of toxic fans out there, but I think there are really good ideas that Disney kind of ignores, and I don't think Ben Solo is gone. I don't think his story's over, and I think it's just beginning, and we just need a greenlit, So I think that's important. Please sign the petition. I will give you the link and just tag the other pages that are sharing the news. Follow the pages that I'm tagging. I'm tagging the artist who did my book cover. I'm tagging the Hunt for Ben Solo page, and I think one of them who runs the page, or they at least are part of the movement, that they've asked me to tag them in. Other than that, other than that, that's really it. So please follow the pages that I tag in this post, and that's really it. Alright, bye guys, and may the force be with you.